This is a Galaxy art painting that would be really simple, and guys, you could get yourself together with some friends, and I just want to recommend sharing the cost of the paper, the paints, and the supplies. Make it really affordable so a group of you can get together and have a paint night. So in order to do this painting, I used Arches watercolor paper, cold pressed, and then I also used Holbein watercolor art paints, and you can use other brands, but those are the colors. Just stop the video and write it down. This is my masking fluid, and I put some of that masking fluid in this little tiny jar that I just showed you so I could create those dots. And I am starting this painting off with a wet on wet technique. So basically all I'm doing is putting water on top of this painting. Because I've got that masking fluid on, the paint's just going to run right over top of it, and I'm going to take that off later on. So I wanted a vibrancy of having this deep blue on the top, and then some beautiful red, almost like a magenta, and then moving it into a shell pink or shell peachy type of tone on the bottom. So I laid down my first colors, then I let this thing dry, and then I went back over it again. As you can see, I'm using a very inexpensive tool, a nice steel ruler that I have on hand, and I'm using that to flick more of the stars on the sky. And I love it because this metal ruler, it's my favorite ruler. I've had it for like 10 years. But I love it because I could use a credit card, I'll use a pair of scissors, a knife, something, and I'm going to brush my paintbrush on top of that to get those stars. So I just do it until I like it. And then I wanted you to know that down below here, when I was working on this painting, I went ahead and laid down some of the black, and then I took this nice cheap sponge, get a cheap sponge, cut it up, and I used that to make some of the trees. Then I'm using saran wrap, and I just wanted to try and experiment and use a different texture below. So I put saran wrap on top while the paint was wet. I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to peel it off later. Okay, you can see me using my Micron pen. It's black. They have different sizes, and I used a thicker one, then I used a finer one, like a 0.8, and I'm creating the branches. And when I was finishing up this picture, I went ahead and added a little bit more black down into where that texture is and finished it off really simple. This is just such an easy project to do, and you and your friends would probably have a lot of fun creating this. So give it a try. Hit subscribe, and I would love to see you on another project. You guys have a great day.